Hello, loves. My name is Maya, and welcome to my canvas. I hope you all had a blessed week. During my week, I encountered a TikTok challenge on my For You page that was a character randomizer. I've used randomizers maybe once or twice before, but when I used those, they were just random spin the wheel type randomizers that had written prompts. But this one in particular caught my attention because this randomizer already had ready-made designs for hair, clothes, and accessories. The owner of the randomizer is kirko.art on TikTok. And from their page, they seem to already have a couple of randomizers to choose from. So I just chose one, and just from the look at it, I'll show it here. There are a lot of fun designs to grab just by sitting here and kind of like eyeballing the fun and unique stuff as you're just looking at the whole thing. So I refreshed the TikTok page, clicked on it again, and I paused on my randomized choices. I also took screenshots so I can combine all of them and use them as a reference. And after I put it all together, this is what I got. So we have bangs with a heart-shaped braid down, which was really cute. We have squinty eyes, which I don't always do squinty eyes, so that's new, but these are like extremely squinty eyes, so that's new to me. Then we have pink eyes with high lighter yellow pupils. We have brown hair color. We have 4 arms as accessories. I have never drawn more than 2 arms before. So getting that as my accessory was kind of funny to me. I almost kind of panicked because the more I was pausing, I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? But here we are. We also got what looks like to me like stuffed animal, like stitched stuffed animal skin. Like it's really cute. Like, you know, like grandmas and well, others now, all ages these days, you know, it looked like patchwork. You just get different types of fabric and stitch them together into like one cohesive piece of work. So that's what it looks like to me. It just looks like a what's the word I'm looking for? A quilt. Looks like a quilt stuffed animal skin, which is also new to me because I'm usually used to using like normal skin tones, so that's new. And of course, I happened to pause on the iconic TikTok strawberry dress. After I put everything together, looking at it all together cohesively, I have a pretty good idea of what I can make out with this. So let's get to my canvas and let's get started. And throughout this process, I'll just show you tell you my thoughts on how I went about doing this challenge and making this design. Enjoy. So getting started, I had to get my poses together, and the pose that I chose that you see right now, it took me a bit to get it together because I had 4 arms as an accessory. And because I had 4 arms, I tried to make sure that I made the arms as dynamic as possible so that they can kind of stand out on their own, and making sure there was enough room to showcase that she has 4 arms. And I also decided I was going to make a she for my design, which I normally always do, but that was a choice I made here because I thought the dress would look so cute. But yeah, so the arms took a bit, and once I got that down, how I was able to do that was I copy and pasted 2 models, and I put both of the models, one in the front and one in the back. So I posed the front model to do the uppermost arms first, and then the back model I posed those back arms, and then after I combined them, I had one cohesive model to trace a pose for. Next, I had to design the strawberry dress. This wasn't too bad to do. Again, the only thing I had to think about was how the arms were going to be with the dress. So that didn't take too long. But what did took me a minute, which was kind of surprising, was the eyes. Once I got to the eyes, it was a little tricky on how big I wanted the pupils to be. Because like I mentioned before, I usually don't do like overly squinty eyes. I always go for like the big, bright, and open eyes. And that could be something I just need to learn myself. But it took a couple of tries for me to get a squinty eye look that I was comfortable with. And closer towards the end of this right here, I started feeling more comfortable. It's like the squintier I went, the better it looked. And I felt like it fit the randomizer choice pretty well. I did make them just a little bigger just so it can fit the face. And of course, I always add my iconic eyebrows. They're always thick and they're always snatched. And lips. Since the randomizer didn't choose lips for me, so I was able to feel a little bit more comfortable with the face design, because at least I got to choose lips that I was comfortable with. But the eyes was definitely a big challenge for me so far. I did not expect it taking so long to shape squinty eyes for this model, but I finally came to a look that I liked. And the more I looked at it, I was just thoroughly pleased with it. Next was me doing just the initial line art. So every time I do line art, there are times where once I'm done with like the first run through of a line art, I'm usually happy with what I go through on the first go. But it's also very normal for me in my drawing style that my line art is almost like a phase 2 for a sketch. It's like I have my very, very, very rough sketch that just showcases what I'm trying to go for, getting all my ideas out there. And then when I do my first line art, there are some things with my first line art that I love, so I'll keep and won't really change too much. And then the more I look at it later on, I catch myself like changing some things with the design on some areas that I lined art on. And I feel like that's okay. That's usually how I always went about my artwork. I know there are a lot of artists, and a lot of artists do their line art and their sketches differently. Of course, do whatever suits you best and what fits your flow. But it is commonly known for you to just kind of go in that process. You just do your sketch, then you would finalize the sketch really well, and then you would go to line art. But I'm also kind of impatient when it comes to line art. I kind of look at line art as like my scribbles. Like, okay, here's an idea. I want to get as close to this idea as possible. And that's where I make all my choices. And that's where I kind of get just a little bold. Like, okay, let's see if I can add this, or in my mind, this is how I think the pose would go, or the hair, or whatever. But then I find that it helps me to do it this way, is that as an artist, the more you stare at your work, the more you start to notice things, and you're going to make a change anyway. So that's why I kind of just impatiently just go ahead and jump straight into line art, because I just don't like the thought of sitting on a sketch for so long. I'm just ready to just go ahead and jump in there, and then if I get a change, I'll just change it later, or not, because like I said, there are some artworks that I've made in the past that I'm completely fine with how my first line art went. I just maybe zhuzh up a couple of areas and go from there. Next, you can see that I did the heart ponytail and bangs, and I wouldn't say this part was a challenge. It's just usually that style of hair is not the normal style I usually go for. My hairstyles are usually always very like slick bobs or straight hair, or I'll do the curly hair puffs that I'm pretty much known for in a lot of my work. So doing like a cute heart braid down, I thought the heart braids were pretty fine with how they came out, and I was genuinely happy with my choice on the first go for the hair, so I didn't really care too much to go into too much detail on changing that up. Next was probably like my favorite part of this challenge, and that was doing the stuffed animal patchwork skin. At first I was really nervous to do this part because I wasn't sure how those colors were going to clash with the strawberry dress and with that blue skin tone. But as I started like placing the patches and I started adding the dots and cleaning up the lines, I was thoroughly having a good time, like doing polka dots, placing polka dots where I thought would be cute. And I was just kind of loving how it was coming out. It was coming out cuter than I expected to be. Personally, if I was just given just the skin alone, I would have never chosen a strawberry dress to go with this skin type, with the skin design, because I feel like it already kind of speaks for itself. So adding a strawberry dress on top of that, that was kind of my main concern with this challenge, with this randomizer, is making sure that both the strawberry dress and the patchwork skin meshed well together without it being just overly too much. So I tried to make sure I kept that in mind and not go too heavy and too detailed with the patchwork. Tried to keep it light and match what was given. So like I mentioned before, with my line art, I originally had a idea to just do like a simple flowy type dress, but as I look back at the randomizer choice, the strawberry dress had just a little bit more detail with its ruffles, and that's when I decided to go back and delete the bottom half of the dress. I thought the top half of the dress was fine, but I deleted the bottom half and I redesigned the bottom half to have a more realistic flow and ruffle like look like the randomizer had. And I definitely liked how it came out. It definitely looked super cute once that was added on there. Next, the randomizer had a heart patch on it, and the heart patch was placed on the randomizer on the chest area, and unfortunately the strawberry dress that I got covers that area, so I thought it would be super cute to kind of bring that heart patch down to her lower leg, and once I did that, I thought that was super cute. So definitely kept that in, and I'm glad I chose to still utilize that heart patch, because at first I thought I wasn't going to use it. I was just going to stick to just the patches on her arms, but it came out really nice. Next, I decided to add just a little bit of a flare to the strawberry dress. Because of the size of the model that I'm using, I felt like the dress on the randomizer didn't fit the model size that I chose too well, so I decided just to add a little corset to the middle of the dress to add just a little bit of like extra design to it. And I'm glad that I did that because it was able to make the dress stand out just a little bit more, and it was able to break up a little bit of the strawberries and the patchwork, so you have just one middle ground that was kind of plain and light to break up all the really bright and bubbly bubblegum colors. After some time, Pretty much the main design of it was getting close to done. At this point, I decided to just go back in and do some cleanup on my line work, and that's my kind of my favorite part to do. And I find that it adds a uniqueness to my style because I'm able to control the line weight of on certain areas. Certain areas I have line weight that's really thin. Some areas I have it that's pretty thick and curvy corners. And I think that really helps pop that cute bubbly style that I add to my art. Another part that took a minute for me to get used to when it came to this design was adding the strawberry dresses drawstrings in the front. I don't know why this part was so aggravating for me because it's really simple, and I think that was the issue. It's like the more simple it is, the more I tend to overthink it. So I caught myself just kind of overthinking the bow straps on the dress. And you'll see here that I just ended up deciding that I liked the top bow better, and I just copy and pasted it and put it another one at the bottom. And here it was time for me to design the strawberry. Of course, I could have went on the Clip Studio store and I could have found a strawberry pattern to use, but I'm trying to do better at making my own assets for my work, so I decided to design my own strawberry. So that's what I'm doing here, just trying to design like what colors I like, how big I want the seeds to be, what seed colors that I wanted. I was pretty satisfied with the strawberry and the leaf color, so I really was more playing around with just the seed color and the seed size, even though I plan on shrinking the seeds anyway. I ended up liking how this strawberry came out. Then once I was satisfied with the strawberry, it was copy and paste time. I copy and pasted the strawberry into a straight design and placed it to see how it would look on the dress. As you can see here, I kind of went back and fixed the strawberry design because at first I had them all going the same way and it looked way too uniform. So I decided to go back to the first strawberry and copy and paste the strawberry going in different directions, and then went back and copy and pasted the pattern itself. This was a fun thing to do because I was able to get a break from the challenge itself and just make a cute strawberry pattern. And after I did this looked way better as a pattern because now I had strawberries going to the left, to the right, diagonal, and I felt like it looked way more natural for a strawberry dress design. And I thoroughly loved it, how it came out. And I was happy that I made a pattern on my own. It's not the first time I've made patterns. I've learned to do so in art school, so it's cool that I'm still able to use college classes to bring into my artworks in the present. So there's that. And after I was satisfied with the strawberry pattern, it was time to add detail on top of the flat colors. This is also another part that I love to do with my artwork because it brings me back into like my painterly days. So I'm just able to just spat color where I think it fits. And here I just try to brush the color up and downward and curvedward into like a dress type fabric style, so it looks flowy. And once I added this cream color, I was just falling in love with the dress. The cream definitely made the strawberries pop out more, and the dress felt and looked more real once that cream color was added and painted on. I then took some time to add a little bit of detail to the corset so it is not just completely plain and pink because everything is pink in this design. Now I did get an asset to help out with getting a mesh for the corset because I tried to draw my own and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm on this challenge way longer than I need to be. I already spent an hour just trying to make my own strawberry design. So I was like, I'll just use a Clip Studio asset to help me out with that. And that took no time. I think it was like only 5 minutes to add that and zhuzh that up. Then I went back in and decided to redesign the socks because everything else had more intricate design except for the thigh high socks. So I went back in and redesigned those. And I made the color match everything else because at first I was going for like this tan brown look for the thigh high socks, and those colors were just not fitting with all the bubblegum purple and pink and blue colors that I had. So I was like, let me go back and make these socks match because they were just not matching. Can't have my girl going out there looking crazy. Next, I wanted to add a little bit more depth to her braid, and this didn't take too much time. I didn't want to put too much effort into it because, like I said, there was already so much going on with the skin type and the strawberry dress and all the colors, but I just wanted to add just one more layer of dimension to the hair. So that's what I did here. And because again, there's so many colors going on, I just wanted to add just a little bit of more depth in her shadows. So I went in with a brown, and then I changed the brown to blue. And once I did that, the shadows popped more, and I loved it. I don't know what it was, but it gave the whole fit like a more cool tone. It like cooled everything down. And I think there is something about that, like blues are cool tones and reds are like warmer tones. And I think the cool tone of these blue shadows that I added really helped made the whole illustration pop even more. Last but not least, I wanted to make a cute background design for her, so I recycled the strawberries that I made earlier for the dress and was kind of playing around with how I wanted the extra strawberries to be on for her background. But I stretched it out to make it less so because, like I said, there's plenty of strawberries on this as it is. And I came to a finalization on that. And then just to make her pop out a little bit more from the background, I added like an ice baby blue outline around her to make her pop on the illustration, which I thought was extra cute and to cool down on those pink tones. And with everything that I got from the randomizer, here is the reveal of the randomizer challenge. Her and all her strawberry glory. I had so much fun doing this challenge. She came out looking stupidly cute. The dress worked well with her skin. That was pretty much two of the biggest things I was worried about, but after it all came together, I think it worked well. I definitely wouldn't have added any more to this design than I already have, but I think it came out super cute, and I am in love with her. I wouldn't know what I would use this OC for, but I need to come up with a story or something to put her in because she is just too adorable for me not to utilize. I hope that you guys loved seeing me do this challenge. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. What was you guys' favorite part? Did you guys like the strawberry dress more? Did you guys like the stuffed animal skin, handmade strawberries? Let me know. Did you like the whole thing? Again, I thought this challenge was fun. It definitely took me out of my comfort zone, and the most things I could think about was the arms took me out of my comfort zone, the squinty eyes, and the skin really took me out of my comfort zone. Making dresses and cutifying things are normal for me, of course, but definitely those three things is what made me have to like think and plan to make sure everything worked well together, which I definitely think it did. But yeah, let me know if you liked it below. Do you know of any other randomizers out there that you think I should try? I can definitely see myself doing this randomizer or checking out that creator's other randomizers in the future, because I think it's a good way for me to open up and expand on my creator journey and challenge myself. So I liked it. And with that, loves, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I pray that you guys have a blessed day and night, and I will see you in the next video.